Hello and welcome. It's been a while now, haven't it? It's been a long time, and even more time for me to think about the outcome of my season 2 journey through self-transformation. And I can't help but observe myself every single day and see the same things boiling inside me. All the voices saying, you gotta do better than that. You gotta achieve something. The problem is that those voices are weak. They are not good enough to convince me. They are not good enough for me to actually achieve any of this. They cannot carry me far enough. I do burn out at some point in the end. I do resign from the things that I'm promising myself, breaking my own word whenever the things get slightly inconvenient. I do not want my change badly enough for the said change to actually happen. That's a big one. That's an important one. But if you really think about it, you look at yourself and you look at your desires and you look at the things you want to change. You look at the things you want to achieve. And you realize that you still did not do it despite trying over and over again because you do not want it badly enough. If you look at it, and if you think about our world in scientific terms, if you think about it as physics, as molecules dancing in an open space, if you think about it in a non-personal way, if you think about it as if it's an equation, which it actually is in some strange way, then you might come to a conclusion that you actually arrived and you didn't notice. If I put a pressure, if I will use my force to move the rock, and the force that I am applying on the rock is not big enough for the rock to move, the rock will not move. And the rock will not be disturbed by the fact that it did not move. Do you understand that? Try and actually make it sink in. There are some forces that are trying to push you in a certain directions. They are not hard enough to push you. You might start, you might prepare yourself, but inevitably you will come back to the point zero. Inevitably, nothing will really change. Why is that? The force is not big enough. Okay? You're a mountain. You're a mountain. You're a lonely mountain. And you stand in an open space where the winds are blowing. These are your desires. And there are many things you might desire, but none of those winds is of a power strong enough to move you. None of them. If a change happens, and changes are happening in human lives, changes have happened to me too, but it was always a result of a very strong desire, of a very strong force that I could not act against. I couldn't do anything about to change my life. And when it happened, even if there was physical pain, and even if there were other desires, like hunger, for example, that were not satisfied, then still, it didn't really feel that effortful. I simply did it. That's it. It happened to me that I changed the country in which I live in. And it happened so without me having a place to stay in the country I was moving to, and without a job, and without a single person I knew. I didn't know anyone. I didn't have a job. I didn't have a place to stay. And I just moved. That was crazy. I just moved. But right now, I could not do it. Right now, I do not have this energy anymore. Right now, there is no force strong enough to move me to another country. Therefore, you can't really choose to change yourself, to change your life, to move in any direction whatsoever. You cannot do that. It may happen to you, and then you have to follow. Therefore, you arrived. You're here. You're exactly where you have to be, because every single grain of sand on earth is, at this moment, right now, everywhere on the globe, exactly where it has to be. Why? Because it obeys the laws of physics. And you obey the laws of physics too. There is nothing you can do about it. It reminds me of a time when I was a little kid, and I remember that I used to believe that if I will believe hard enough, I'll be able to fly. And I was jumping in the air, believing really, really strong that I'll fly. It never worked. And thankfully I didn't do anything stupid. I didn't jump from any bridge or anything, and thank fuck for that. But it is exactly the same whenever you're having desires pushing on you. And if they're not strong enough, just as those jumps of a little kid are not strong and sustainable enough to keep me in the air, high enough and for long enough, your desires are not strong enough to get you in the air, high enough, and they're not sustainable enough to keep you in the air. You can't do anything about that. The place where you are right now, both physically and metaphorically, is exactly a place where you have to be. You have no choice. You have to be where you exactly are. And whatever the future holds, is exactly what has to be. You cannot do anything about that. There's no free will. No free will at all. What people say that strong will is actually a desire. It's nothing less but a desire. When you see people and you see that they're disciplined, they're having a strong will. In fact, what they're having is a very strong desire. Nothing else. So they are willing to sacrifice their other desires, like the desire for comfort, desire for food, desire for love, desire for feeling of safety, of shelter, of thirst, you name it, of being well rested. They sacrifice all those desires because this one particular desire, whatever the desire is, that makes you think that they're successful, is simply bigger. They want it badly enough. They want it more than you. They want it more than anything else in the world. And you cannot crack the sacred code of desiring. You cannot desire things more than you desire them right now. You cannot produce a new desire. You cannot get rid of your desire because it all fucking wins. There are winds everywhere. It's the weather. You cannot control a goddamn weather. It's raining right now when I'm recording this podcast episode, and I can't do shit about that. It is raining. So when your desires are blowing at you, you cannot do anything about that. Hey, if they'll blow hard enough, you will move. Your entire life might change. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. You don't know that. Nobody knows that because nobody can control the weather. Jesus fucking Christ. So if you'll move, you'll move. But for now, you're here. You're staying in here. You want to lose weight. You want to look great. You want to build a career, you want to build a business, you want to achieve something actually meaningful for once. Nice. Now, well, you don't want it badly enough. If there is any free will in this world, if there is any whatsoever, if there is anything you can actually do, is that you can create more space so that you can recognize the strength of your desires. You can bring more peace. You can bring more solitude, more silence to your life. Get rid of distractions. It will help you recognize if desire is strong enough. But ultimately, it doesn't really matter. If desire will be strong enough, you won't have a goddamn choice. You'll just move where you fucking have to. Nobody will ask you for permission. And then you'll change your life, and God forbid you to ever open your fucking mouth and say any motivational speech to people. If I could do it, you can do it too. No, of course not. Because I do not have your fucking desire. I do not have a desire as strong as yours. I do not have that will. I cannot do that. I cannot get there. If I will ever get that desire, might happen 1 second from now. Might happen 10 years from now. Probably will not happen ever, actually. Then I will. And I will absolutely do miracles. I'll be walking on water. I'll be a new god. Walking legend. Merry Christmas. But until this desire comes in, I cannot do a goddamn shit. I cannot do anything. Cannot do anything at all. Anything at all. So just fucking relax, okay? Let it go. You are not in control. Enjoy the show. That's the only thing you can fucking do. You cannot achieve a thing. You cannot move a single rock. You can't. You can't do anything at all. Just fucking relax, okay? Don't beat yourself because of it. Don't try and push yourself because you can't. You'll only create resentfulness. You only create tension. You'll be very, very upset, very unhappy. If you'll try and push yourself towards the things that you say are good, that you say are necessary, but you can't achieve. Because everything is physics. When the wind will blow strong enough and for long enough, you will move, my friend. It can move even a mountain like you. Fat, ugly mountain. Yeah, it can move even you. But for now, you are the sir. And you are all there is. So shut the fuck up.